Hello, everybody. Anthony Hartwig with you. We have a very special summer volleyball presentation. We are joined by someone pretty familiar that we're pretty familiar with here at YSN, a superstar in the making and already a superstar, really. Reagan Price from Lakeview joining us. Reagan, thank you so much for coming aboard and talking to us on a beautiful summer day.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
So we got you on because you're a part of a club team that is having a pretty fantastic season as part of the Infinity organization. And when you look at this roster, it's loaded with nothing but YSN talent. When you look at first, let's talk about this program and kind of how you got into it and what it's like playing with all these players. What are some of the things that benefit so much in playing with Infinity and the roster that you have?
Infinity is just an amazing club. I'm so grateful that I went last year. They really do so much for you. I mean, they encourage you to be a better person, a better player, a better teammate. So it's really great. My coaches, Kurt Concert and Mark Schneider, have really done a lot for our team this year, and we've definitely consistently improved over the season a lot. So it's just great to be surrounded by amazing people.
When you get to kind of have you look around your roster and you say one of the best players in the area, one of the best players in the area. You have Riley Simons, one of the best setters in the area, et cetera, et cetera. What kind of what's practices like? What are games like when you just have everyone on the same page and there's so much talent?
It's definitely a lot of fun because, as you know, we're all really competitive. So we all want to do good together, but we all want to do good separately too and continue to improve as an individual. But it's really great when we can all come together as a team.
One of the things that is true about any travel sport, whether you're talking about JO volleyball, AAU basketball, travel softball, doesn't matter. It's a pipeline for recruitment. You have a lot of girls there that all have the same goal in mind. They want to play at the next level, and they're determined to do that. What kind of benefit is that? Being in a room with everybody on the same page of what they want to do, and you never have to worry about someone not putting in the work because they know where they want to be.
It's just great to have people that will have your back. It's great when your teammates have that same goal, like you mentioned, because you just know you're going to go farther and be able to play at a higher level with that help.
So we know you're doing all this with the club, but you're also gearing up for a season with Lakeview. What's it been like balancing club volleyball life with, doing the open gyms? I'm sure at Lakeview that has started and starting to really get the team together a little bit for Lakeview and start to look at what's ahead in the 2024 volleyball season.
Yeah, it's been really great. I mean, obviously we've been busy going back and forth, having club practice in Lakeview, but it's been really awesome. Lakeview, we've definitely been doing some summer leagues and we've been getting together, but we're looking really good and I'm excited for senior year. So
outside of this, the raw talent, on the roster, what are some differences that you think are between high school volleyball and then what you do in the club volleyball scene?
I would say that at Infinity, we have a little more height. Which is not something that we have at Lakeview. But at Lakeview, we're just really defensively scrappy. We're really strong, and everyone is just going to go all out for the ball, which is the same at Infinity because, you just have great players in both locations. But it's just one thing when you have that height because at Lakeview, I'm considered tall. But, when I go in Infinity, I might not be quite as tall.
What's that like when you're in the mentality of Lakeview, you're the tall girl, you're the one that we rely on at the net, and then you go into Infinity and it's like, okay, all that pressure is not on me anymore. There are people that may be taller than me. I don't have to be the net protection, end all be all on the team anymore.
It's still fun though being in Infinity because when I go up against, say, Abby's blocking me or Sienna or Lay or someone taller than me, because I think I'm about the fourth tallest person on the team. It's just fun to be able to try and hit around their big block. So
don't worry, Reagan is tall too.
Yeah.
So that tells you what this roster looks like. So we're talking to you because Infinity is having, once again, a very exciting summer. You're going to head to Nationals here in a little bit, right at the start of July in Colorado, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You're ranked 2 in the OVR right now. You're ranked 34th in the country in 17s.
Yeah.
What has been culminating right now in this summer for you guys? What has led to so much success?
We've been getting together as much as we can, with our busy schedules. A lot of us are still technically going into our senior year, but, we've just been getting together and practicing, perfecting our skills, and just making sure we're still touching a volleyball before we leave for Vegas. I think we play the 3rd through 6th.
Talk about the road to Vegas and kind of what went into getting there and how much you guys really had to put in work and get wins along the way. to put yourself in a spot where you were able to take a trip like this to Las Vegas?
Yeah, it's definitely been a lot of work, but it's great because everyone has that same goal. We want to do well in nationals. Going into the season, a lot of us had played together, but some of us had not. So, just adjusting to each other, figuring out our strengths, weaknesses, and doing our best to like fix those. And then honestly, we've had a lot of triumphs this season. I'd say our highest moment, we beat a really strong team, ABC, in the Nike Open, and we ended up winning that tournament. So that was a really good point just to show that we do have a lot of local talent in our area.
When you think of the local talent for sure, and you think of it's the scope of volleyball right now in Northeast Ohio, we know that we're kind of looked as a really good volleyball area, but we haven't been able to punch that ticket to state in quite a while because of teams that are just off of our region that are really really good. How much do you think, from your perspective, this club volleyball level and then the experience that not just your team but other teams are getting as well? How much do you expect that to raise our level of volleyball here in the Tri-County area and in the YSN network?
Oh, it 100% helps. I love when you see local players playing club. Like I always try to encourage the younger girls at Lakeview, like go to Infinity, go play club. Like it benefits you so much. It's really easy to see that your performance improve on the court.
And you talked about your coaching staff at Infinity as well. What are they like? What's it been like to morph to a coaching staff? I know coaching travel is a little bit different than coaching high school. They're more focused on a little bit higher level of expectations. So what's it been like to be coached by these two and to be able to use them to raise your level?
I mean, they're absolutely amazing. They'll always push you to do your best. And if there's something that they need to talk to you about or you need to work on, I mean, they'll let it be known, but it's only to benefit you. They just want you to do your best in the highest level that they know that you can. So it's been really great to have them.
Do you think the club practices and games, there's more time for maybe individual work and going to a coach and saying, "Hey, I'm not doing this," or maybe this needs tweaked a little bit, rather than high school where you're more focused on the big picture, more focused on team practices, what can the team do better, rather than going up to individual workouts and this thing that and that. Do you think the club scene is a little bit more geared towards building yourself individually with the coaches that you have?
I mean, you could say that Infinity will do like more structural stuff, probably with like our swing or our approach or anything. But it's not to say that our high school doesn't do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think that club also mainly focuses on the team picture. But I think that you improve as a player doing that as well at the same time.
That's what I always love about the most successful travel teams in any sport are the ones that don't lose the team atmosphere, because it's easy to do that in this because everyone's kind of there to be recruited. They want to put themselves on the map. They want to put themselves forward. But the best travel organizations in every sport don't lose the team mentality and all that. How do you think Infinity is able to do it? How are they able to balance? Yes, everyone's here to be recruited. You want to put your best foot forward so you get on a college roster, but we're still a team and we still have to work like a team.
Going into practice and tournaments, we just know that like recruitment is not our main focus when we're playing. Like we just want to play good together. We want to do our part. We want to do good for our club and prove to everyone that we are a good team and that we want to go far, and not mainly focus on just like me as an individual making a college team. Like that'll come with being on the team.
It must help that volleyball is a sport that there is no way you can succeed without the other players on the court.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's zero way you can. No matter how good of a hitter you are, if you're not setting, you're not hitting.
No.
Right? So let's talk about your recruitment and your commitment. You're wearing the Finley shirt, so we know that you're going to Finley to be an Oiler. What was your recruitment process like, and what made you land on this decision?
Okay, so last summer I definitely bounced around to a lot of camps. It was definitely tiring, but it was completely worth it in the end. Finley was actually the last camp that I went to. So I went there and they actually invited me back. So I went back in November and I got to play with the team, which was an amazing experience. I met a lot of great teammates, players, and I'm super excited to play for Coach Wick and Coach Hannah. So I gave them my verbal commitment around the end of December.
So, you're going to all these camps and you said Finley was the last. I mean, that means, you went through a lot of process. You were really mulling over a lot of teams in your mind. What was that kind of like to try to pick the pros and cons of everybody? And then, like you said, the last one was the one that did it. But what was, everyone's recruitment process is different. So what were some of the things that you were looking for, some of the things that you were kind of putting on your checkbox during the recruitment process that Finley eventually was the one that checked all those boxes?
Right. I mean, being completely honest, it was a little bit stressful, but it was still a fun process at the same time. I knew I didn't want to go too far, and Finley's just like on the brink where it's not too far, and I'm so close to home, but I'm comfortable at Finley. It felt like another home to me. So that was good too. And then I would say I was looking for a good academic thing as well. So Finley has a physical therapy program that I'm going to do, and instead of it being 7 years, it cuts a year off because they have their own track, and I wouldn't have to transfer to another school. So I'll do that for 6 years, and I would be able to graduate with my doctorate.
Not everyone gets the benefit of knowing where they're going to go before they start their senior year. What's that like for you to, when you go into Lakeview and you go into your senior season, you don't have to worry about recruiting, you don't have to worry about putting on yourself on coaches' radars anymore. You know where you're going, so you can lock into absolutely everything that makes Lakeview better.
Yeah, it's definitely a confidence booster, and it's a stress reliever because I'm able to just focus on myself now, focus on improving myself for Finley and getting, in the right mental headspace to do that and helping Lakeview as well. I'm super excited.
We're talking about how important club volleyball is to recruitment. And that's because the coaches go to these club tournaments and that's where they see you. But we know that high school coaches also are very important in advice and helping you along the way, and they can have connections too. And I know Heather Guthrie probably has plenty of college connections and college coaches connections. What kind of things did she help you in the recruiting process? What kind of things did you lean on Coach Guthrie in trying to get you to where you wanted to go?
I mean, Heather's just been amazing too. She sent me to multiple camps. I mean, we go to team camps as well. Just anything we get us to see coaches, coaches to see us. She's been super helpful as well. I mean, just going into their freshman year, I knew that she was going to help me do big things, and she's been amazing. I love her as a coach.
We're going to have a chance to talk to you again during the season about Lakeview and your senior season and all the exciting things about being a Bulldog and all that fun stuff. But real quick, give us kind of maybe a little bit of a preview of what you think Lakeview is going to be this year and what the expectations for Lakeview are. I know outside of the program, there were a lot of people that doubted you last year, and you proved a lot of people wrong. So now you come back into a season where maybe the target's back on the back of your shoulders again. What are some expectations for this Lakeview season, real quick?
We definitely have high goals this year. We'd like to go far and be successful regarding districts and regionals. And I know with the district changes, we might have a better chance of doing that this year. So we're really excited, and we've definitely been preparing a lot. So,
And for those of you that don't know, the summers in Lakeview gym not easy. So send positive vibes to Reagan and the Bulldogs because in the middle of July in that Lakeview gymnasium, not going to be fun.
very hot.
Very hot. What kind of things does that do for your conditioning? I know we asked every Lakeview player this, but we have to ask it again because man, it's just a grind.
Yeah.
What does being in the hot gym in the middle of summer do for you down the line when you get into those tough 5-set matches down the season? You're like, we've been here before.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we just use that to our advantage. A lot of teams aren't used to the heat, they're not used to it. So they tend to get more tired out before we do. And it's awesome because when we do get to those 5-set games, we're used to it and they might not be. So we can take advantage of that and hopefully win those matches.
All right, before we let you go, we have to have some fun on a YSN interview. We never don't. You're going to a big trip to Las Vegas. It's going to be a fun trip. Obviously, you're there for business. You want to get wins. But what are some exciting things that are going to come with the trip? What are some things that you're excited about, being on this, 4-day trip with your teammates and being able to spend more time with them and stay in a room with them and all that fun stuff that comes with a trip all the way across the country?
Yeah. So, I mean, we always hang out in each other's hotel rooms and just have fun. But, we're excited to get a good tan because it's supposed to be really hot. Get some swimming in. I think we're going to go to some, Circus Soleil shows and, whatever Vegas has to offer. But we're super excited. So we'll see what has to come.
Now, it's not a road trip because hopefully not driving all the way to Las Vegas. But if it was a road trip, what are some of your favorite kind of road trip or plane rides or the times when you're stuck in a vehicle for an elongated amount of time? What are some of your favorite activities during those times?
All right. So off previous experience, I just went on a vacation with another volleyball player at Lakeview, Kennedy Bartlett, and we had a long road trip. My go-tos are probably listening to music with my AirPods. We did a lot of crosswords or I also like just like those silly road games where you do like the alphabet and you have to find like A, B, C, D, continue and find it like on all the signs and cars as you go because it's definitely a long ride. But I'll probably be focusing on crosswords and music and stuff on the plane ride because
Crosswords.
yeah.
Keep that brain. What do you have like a favorite crossword? Like I know there are different companies that put them out, and obviously there's a lot of papers to put them out. Do you have one that like is your go-to crossword?
Not really. I don't do them that often, but just probably in those times where I'm on a plane or something. Something I don't do too much. That's kind of fun every once in a while.
What has been like the are there any other puzzles that you like? Because crosswords are puzzles. So are there any other like Sudoku or
Oof, I don't
any of
know.
those
I like word searches.
word
So
search? See,
anything
you
like brain tests.
that's old school. Like that's what my generation did in road trips. We didn't have our phones to watch Netflix or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, like the old guy on the lawn, but I like that it's still there. There are still people doing the books of crosswords and word
I do.
searches.
I do.
Thank you for putting hope back into your generation a
You're
little
welcome.
bit. Reagan, I want to wish you the best of luck in Las Vegas. We know we're rooting for you and everyone at YSN, and hopefully we'll get some more of your teammates to come on and talk about Infinity and their experience this summer. We
Yep,
can't wait to see you again in this volleyball season when Lakeview comes popping around. And we wish you the best of luck. We'll see you
thank
soon.
you. Bye.